Hello and welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before, and if you have, of course, once again, welcome. Hopefully you can hear me. Um, if you can't, let me know. And I'm doing something today that I haven't actually cooked before, and I'm going to try it and I'm going to see how it works out. So we can see how it works out, I guess, together. I don't know. But I'm going to make pineapple fajitas. The biggest catch to this is I've never cut a pineapple like this. And I've got some prep stuff to do and what have you. And if you want to join in and leave comments, what have you, let me know you're there. Let me know that you can hear me. That would be awesome. I might also film a little bit of this with my phone and take a few pictures during the process. And I have limited space to work with. Don't worry, the stove isn't hot yet, so I can cook here. Or actually, I can cut everything up here with a cutting board and all that, not have to worry about everything. Then move that, and I will start cooking. So if you are out there, leave a comment. Let me know you're there. I would greatly appreciate it. And here in a second, I'll get going. I want to check Rumble because I'm streaming over on Rumble as well. I'm playing with the, what do you call it, the banner thing or what have you. And what's I put on there with the rants and what have you, that you can leave a rant on Rumble because I do not have enough subscribers for super chats yet. I'm a tiny channel. And let me see if this is coming up. Logging into Rumble on my phone. So it looks like it's up there. I'm going to leave a comment on Rumble. I don't know if I left it on the right part of Rumble. So I will find out, I guess. I might have a way to do this. Copy URL. Let's see how it comes up this way. Don't know. It says 3 are watching. Cool, cool, cool. Now I will leave a comment. I'm not exactly, what do you call it, computer literate. I can use them, but I'm probably just a little too old. I don't know. My son is great with them. Okay, I left a comment on Rumble. Leave that up there so I can see it if someone says anything. I'm probably corking someone, so I have no idea if or how many people are going to show up. But I have to sleep sometime. And like I said, I'm doing pineapple fajitas. I've never cut a pineapple this way, so we're going to see how it works. And let's start with the onions. And I'm actually using two kind of onions because I was running a little bit short on onion. And I've got 2 white onions and I've got 1 yellow sweet onion. So that's just how it's going to work. And if you could leave a comment and let me know you're there, that would be awesome. Once again. I would have used 3 white onions. But I'm kind of working with what I got. Break these up just a bit. I have a sink behind me. If you're wondering where I'm throwing scraps. A sink with a garbage disposal. So see how this goes. People are probably doing all their holiday stuff, so who knows? And my shoulder is still kind of bothering me. That's going to be bothering me for a while. Kind of happens when you hit a tree on a Harley. And I'm not a professional chef, so I'm just someone who likes to cook. Sometimes I like trying new things. Maybe I should leave another link somewhere. Who knows? But I kind of need watch hours, that sort of thing. The whole YouTube thing. I kind of liked how on all the old cooking shows, like whether it was Julia Child or, The Frugal Gourmet, Justin Wilson, something like that, they would always have stuff prepped and ready. Of course, they had a budget and they could do things ahead of time. I don't have any of that. But it's like they'd get to a certain point and they'd stop and then they'd bring it out already done. Or at the next stage, there was another pot, there was another something that was ready. And I always thought that was kind of cool. And I'm not at that level yet. Not by any stretch of the imagination. And the bell peppers were kind of slim pickings. So I got what I could. Let me put this in the sink. I've already washed them. Might want to wash the inside too. Just get the seeds out. I'll cut them up first. Hello, Ghost Shadow. How are you doing? I finally got a comment. I don't think there's any way not to cork anyone anymore. I think it's just you got something to do. Do it. Anytime you go live, there's somebody doing something. And the more communities you get involved in, the more people that are going live. So I watch stuff on motorcycle chats, 2A chats, cooking. So just kind of do your thing. I do wish I could have got better bell peppers though. And I'm going to run a little water. In fact, just so I don't bother anyone, let me Okay. Was supposed to cook steak on the barbecue today. I took them out of the fridge and they were still frozen solid. So he went out for pizza. That sounds like my day. Sometimes I'll cook some things from frozen, sometimes I won't. It's more kind of an effort and do what I gotta do sort of thing. Hamburger meat I'll be more likely to do if I'm just like cooking hamburger helper or something. How do I want to do this? I don't like that. Maybe this will be better. We went to PetSmart today. I got my dog a new bed. Got the cat some toys. Had catnip in them. So I think the cats are basically stoned on catnip right now. Seemed to be my only comment on Rumble. Rumble is kind of a pain to use. I like it. I like having the option out there. I like having someplace that's also got my videos for in case I piss the gods at YouTube off at some point. And but it's just a pain. Because you got to set up your stream keys and everything for each one, and not a lot of people use it. And well, it's got a lot of people on it, but not in comparison, you know? I'm starting to get a little bit of traction there. Not a whole lot. Do I have a link to my Rumble? Hold on. Are you on my Discord? How big old Kalachi shows up. Um, whose Discord are you on? I put one on Matt's Discord as well. So if you go to my Discord or if you go to Matt's Discord, the link for Rumble is on there. Well, anyway, I just put a link on his general. Why is that thing flying? Can you hear me okay? I'm throwing stuff over my shoulder into a sink. Cool. If you get over on Rumble, leave a comment. Let me know you're there. That's what I have pulled up on my phone. Is Rumble. So I can see the comments, because how StreamYard does it, for some reason, I don't think I can see the Rumble comments. I might. All that's showing up now is YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, basically because my son set me up over there. I guess it's just another platform to be on. I have to fry up some vegetables here in a minute. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. Do I want to do the vegetables first, and then the pineapple, and then cut up the steak? Well, I might cook the steak because I'm going to make the meat out of a ribeye. I might cook it in the pan first, and then cut it up into strips, and then add some pineapple and stuff to it. I don't know. I haven't decided. And if you missed it earlier, I've never cooked this before. So if I mess up, I'll be messing up live. So you're on 17 different Discord channels. That's a bit much. I mean, awesome. I just don't know how people keep track of everything. I'm thankful there's a couple people that keep track of mine. It's just, working for a living, then doing stuff with the internet, and you end up with all these channels, and everything's gone now to like subscription sort of things where it's like, oh yeah, I like your YouTube channel, and it's like they have a Discord, so it's like, cool. And it's like you have to pay to get on their Discord. I mean, I can understand paying for certain features, but that's their business. And this is not a business for me. It's kind of a part-time thing, and I've made exactly $0 off of YouTube itself. Oh, multitasking. It's like trying to keep track of everything. It gets to be too much at a certain point. It's like, I like watching this show, I like watching that show, I like doing this, and it gets to where it's basically too many of them. And and my job takes most of my time. So it gets hard to watch everything. Now, I do watch a lot of things going down the road on replay. And it helps keep me up. Like if I can't catch it live, I'll listen to it because, I don't know, in my 20s, I'd have like heavy metal and I'd be blaring it. And, well, you can only listen to Metallica so long before it starts putting you to sleep, you know? Because you've heard the song so many times. Or even, you know, Anthrax, or who knows what, even Guns N' Roses. It's like, cool song, but you're still getting tired, so you want something to kind of keep your mind going. And if the chat gets stale, I'll have to turn it off because it'll start putting me to sleep while I'm driving. And I cannot have that. Just one of those things. Now, how am I going to do this? Have the vegetables cut up. I need to put the vegetables somewhere. And I also have a cat. So that complicates things. Just a little bit. And I have this. My nose has been going. Smells like a pineapple. So how do I cut this? And should I trim something off the end? Probably. Okay, that's a lot. Music from the 60s and 50s. I like a lot of the 60s music, but my mom was kind of a hippie. And then she went country and western. So I grew up listening to CCR and Country Joe and the Fish and Lee Greenwood and Dolly Parton and all kinds of stuff. At least she didn't go disco. Her younger sister, my aunt, did the disco thing. There's enough of a generation gap between them. If you're around Houston, there's a nightclub that all the goth kids and gay kids and all that go to now, but in the 70s it was a disco club, and that's Numbers, and it started off as a disco club. Some of the disco is pretty cool though. It is what it is. I might want to cut some more off of this. I was thinking about leaving it kind of cute with some of the leaves hanging out of it, but maybe not. So how do I do this without hurting myself. I just got over a motorcycle wreck, so I don't need to cut my hand off. Rumble is about 1 full minute behind YouTube. Okay. Watch the fingers, yes. If you leave a comment on Rumble, let me know, because I want to see how it shows up on StreamYard versus Rumble. I'm thinking a serrated knife would have probably worked better for this. But I do not have a serrated knife for the kitchen. I'm sort of a low budget operation here. Wondering if I ought to wash these. Well, if I'm thinking if I should wash them, I probably should. So hold on. At least rinse them off. But my knife is sharp, so that's good. Hello, DJ Play Nice. How are you doing? Now, what's the best way to do this? I'm not going to use a big knife. I do know that. I got a cat behind me that's high on catnip. Don't want to cut through it because I want the shell later. Hold on. 1 second. Here we go. And the trash can. I made it. Yeah, I figured out how to do the ticker tape thing. Now I'm going to figure out how to put a link in it. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to do this pineapple without cutting through it. That seemed to work. Huh. That is interesting. Coolness. I'm going to try to score this a little. I'm still going to want chunks out of this because I'm going to fry it. And like I said, I'm figuring out how to do this live on air. Coolness. A grapefruit spoon works well. Yes. Yes, I probably could put a towel down and stabilize. I would need a towel. Hey, maybe this will work. Ice cream spoon. Okay. That seemed to work. Might want to dice these up before I get too much further. My paring knife is not as sharp as the big knife. Yeah, it's kind of what I was going for. It was like a 45-degree cut. Coolness. Let's try this again. Okay. I'm going to cut it now so I don't have to dig it out later. And try this side. I think pineapple is kind of controversial, especially like when it comes to pizza or something. People either like it or they don't. I like it when it's nice and sweet. I don't like it when it's not. Do not want to go all the way through. Thankfully, I did not. But I did get the core out better that time. So you're saying don't use the core? I don't even know how much of this I want to use. It is stiffer than the rest of it. I will give you that. Like I said, I do not know what I'm doing. So thank you, DJ Play Nice. This is messy. Kind of fun though. Sometimes it's fun to make a mess. Could not figure out what I wanted to cook today. So, go through? Nope. Good. I just thought I'd try something different. And that's the pineapple. Going through too many paper towels. That might be a good idea. Drop it into some vodka. So what do I do with it now? See, I'm trying to figure out the order I want to do this. And I've got limited space. So what I might do is fry the vegetables first. And then put the pineapple in with it. And then put that away. And then cook the steak. And put it away. And then turn the pineapples upside down on a skillet. So something you probably need to have, like, what do they call them, big flat things to cook on? Like a big griddle kind of thing would probably work out better. I've got vodka. I don't know if I can fit that in there. I'd have to trim it. So where do I put this? That up there. I guess that might work. I hate when I do that. Someone clean my skillet. And did not know what they were doing. Don't worry, it's not dirty. It's clean. Probably something that should be done off camera. Just dry. So give it a second, let it heat up. Yeah, never use a scrub pad on cast iron. I live with someone who doesn't cook very often and does not use cast iron, so I have to deal with that. Just sort of is. And at least I didn't have to use a match to light the burner. Half the time I have to use a match. Sometimes, like what just happened, the back burner will light and then that'll light the front burner. And if I had the time, I would just wipe this thing down, put it in the oven, and kind of bake it for a little bit. But I do not have the time. So we're going with this. And it's going to take a second, so let me check. I am the only one who said anything on Rumble. So if anyone wants to hop on Rumble and leave a comment so I can see how it shows up. If any of y'all have used StreamYard, the YouTube comments have a little YouTube symbol on them. The Twitch ones have that. I don't know about the Rumble, and I probably need to move my phone. I'm going to put test comments, see how it turns out. Can't post to some destinations. So on my end, it's not posting. Do not know about Rumble. And I do not know where to put this. I do know it needs to be away from the heat. There we go. That's a little further away. But induction top. Oh, that's one of them electric things, I think. You've posted 2 times. It might be on the other part. If you're on the mobile app, I know it's hard to the mobile app will show up on like the comments for the video, and the computer part of it will show up for the comments for the chat. And that's what I was looking at. The one that has a little money bags thing on it. For, I believe that's to leave a rant. So I don't know, but I will check that one later. The one that I'm looking at, let me see, looks like this. I don't know if that helped any. Do you know I don't have a lot of space? And I can turn this down a little bit. Don't know if my skillet's big enough. And I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. Okay, that wasn't good. Oh, that's pretty cool. I need a new stove. This one was probably made in the late 70s or in the 80s, somewhere in there. I'm not sure. But most of it doesn't work. Yeah, well, I can do that. I might have to do the pineapple stuff up. In fact, I probably will. Try and go just my camera there. I didn't even check in the fridge to see if I still have mozzarella. I should if she didn't throw it out. Sometimes she does that. So I hope I got mozzarella. And I will use the mozzarella towards the end. And I'm using that Samsung microphone. I put it on top of the fridge. And I'm sitting down in a chair, so that seems to be working okay. If I can just keep everything away from the stove. Far enough away. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook these. Then I'm going to put them back in that bowl. I will cook the pineapple, put it back in that bowl, and I will then cook the meat. This is kind of weird, sitting in a chair. Kind of break the onions up a little bit. This would be really cool to do like on a hibachi grill. That would be awesome. Because then you can have like your pile of vegetables over here, your pineapples, you can mix it all up together. And that would work pretty cool. The other thing that's weird about Rumble is you end up with two channels for one channel. Because you have your Rumble, I don't know what they call it, it's like your page or something. And then you can set like several little channels underneath it. And so you have your channel and you have your channel. So it's like you end up, I think I've got 33 subscribers on one, I've got like 20, 22 on the other. And it's, if someone's just doing like one channel on Rumble, your subscribers have to subscribe to both of your Rumble channels at the same one, but you have to subscribe to both to get the videos. And it's just weird how it's done that way. I think that's one of the problems they're having that makes it more confusing. If that makes any sense. I think that's the main problem with Rumble right now is it's essentially confusing. For not only the people on Rumble who are trying to put out content, but for the subscribers that are trying to watch their content. And this is going to cook down a little bit. I do have a link at the top of the chat if anyone wanted to hop in. It's distracting when you're doing something and then trying to put out the information that you should be putting out, to be doing a channel on any of these social media platforms, because it's like, okay, you're trying to concentrate on what you're doing, you're cooking, and you go back and forth in the comments, and then, but you don't want to burn what you're cooking. That would really suck. And I've come real close to doing that. Technically did once, but I was able to fix it. And even Let me see. There we go. And even if you're just shooting a video to post later, if you're cooking something, it's more of a one take sort of thing. So if you screw it up, you screw it up. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Sorry, I have someone making a lot of noise in here. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. My wife had to come in here and get something. Plus side, I do have mozzarella. I've also got Colby Jack. Both of which I could probably use. Sorry it's taking so long. I put a whole bunch in here. Then I've got to move it over to that other bowl. This shouldn't be but about another, maybe 5 minutes, something like that. Rumble. That is weird, looking at it like a minute behind. So what are y'all doing for your holiday weekend? Do you actually have a holiday weekend? I've got part of a holiday weekend. I was working yesterday. I'm off today and tomorrow. Monday, I've got to go early morning to Harley to talk to them. Then I've got to go pick up Lynn and head back to Michigan. And our oldest son, he's out here visiting. So we may do something with him tomorrow. Steaks you were supposed to cook today will be cooked tomorrow. Cool. Yeah, if you're really going to do spaghetti sauce right, yeah, cook it a while, get all the seasoning in there. I've got sauce kind of lined up, or at least the cans lined up to make the sauce from. Like over on the other counter, I've got those big cans of like whole peel tomatoes, and a can of Rotel tomatoes on top of it, and a can of tomato paste on top of that. And that's what that's for. It's for making spaghetti sauce. Have you tried making your noodles from spaghetti squash before? And this is just about done. Never turned out pretty good. When I try boiling it on top of the stove, it doesn't seem to work very good. If I do it in the oven, it works pretty good. You've got to watch the part that touches the pan will burn a little, but then you can just take a knife and trim that off, then take your fork and scrape out the inside, which turns into the noodles. That one tends to work better. I had tried a recipe one time from complete scratch without the can. Actual tomatoes. And I'll probably throw in some like poblano peppers and stuff like that, maybe some chilies. Put like a Texas twist on it. That's about right. See if I can do this without burning myself. too much longer, the bell peppers are going to start burning. Okay. I don't know if I want to put the juice in here or not. Like I said, I'm figuring out how to do this. No, I don't want to cook this for too long, but I do want to cook them. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cook these, then I'm going to do the steak. Maybe turn that up a little. Yeah, I was looking for my strainer. That would be awesome right now. I do not know where she put it. Although I did find something that would work. me rinse this out. This would work. Don't want to burn my pineapple. I wonder how it will taste with rye. And I'm about to find out. Not bad. Either that or I've drank enough of the rye. That it doesn't matter. Yeah, no one else gets into your kitchen. I would love for that to be true on my end. Now, 2 large plastic strainers, 1 large stainless. Well, actually, what I was looking for, what do you call that? An actual strainer, not a colander. Like, you drain pasta and stuff in, but that actual little, like, tea strainer kind of thing. I was thinking that would be perfect. I'm probably going to put this pineapple on top of the vegetables. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I can start getting my steak ready. Need a plastic bag. She moves things. I'm supposed to know where they are. And I don't. So I'll put this other piece up. there's a window at the end of my kitchen. And due to that and the ledge on it, which I probably take the ledge out, the way my refrigerator door opens up is the opposite of how you would want it to open up. Having camera issues. Moving the dog bowl down here. Tiny 3-bedroom house. Okay, that's not done. This is going to be fun. Sit down a little bit. There's some salt. And that is the steak. You can see the two places I shop. Kirkland's at Costco, and then H-E-B. I live in Texas. Start this off. with this, I'm probably going to let it cook just a little bit. And then I'm going to start cutting it in the strips. If you want to know what I'm drinking, this. And this. That is, what do you call it? Double oak rye from Old Humble Distilling Company. I live in Huffman, Texas. He's in Humble. I try to support local businesses where I can. And he's also got a YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Just search Old Humble Distilling Company on YouTube if you've never seen him before. That's who I got that rye from. Oh, thank you. $11 a pound. 11 something for ribeye. Yeah, I'm not getting the barbecue cut out. What would really work good is like a hibachi grill for what I'm doing. Have one of those with a barbecue pit. Was what I was looking at. I know I want just the old school Weber for barbecuing, but there was a gas grill I was looking at, and it had the hibachi thing with it. Like, that would be awesome. And that would probably be perfect for what I'm doing right now. Yeah, there's a Hispanic store by my house. Other than like a subdivision in the country that kind of was the country when it was built, but the city keeps getting bigger. And the entrance to the next neighborhood, there's one of them little Hispanic stores that has all the Goya products and all that stuff, and they've usually got pretty good meat. Usually. I would be cooking this totally different on a hibachi though, so I'd have my heat up really high. I know this might be sacrilegious, but that's what I'm doing. Or at least what I'm attempting to do. While it's cooking. Yeah, I can sharpen it. Sorry about your ears, there goes Shadow. And this don't have much longer. I was saying, hibachi grill would work really good. You just chop it up. Probably could have put the pineapples in the oven. I might do that if I do it again. That or I'll just do it on a grill. Which one do I want to use? I'll use this one. And we'll try it out. Yeah, well, it's a $5 knife, so. That larger piece of meat is the taste. That's mostly a fatty piece. See, big chunk of fat off the end. That's probably going to go to a good boy that probably stopped someone from breaking into my truck. It's a Kenworth P680, and on the doors to the bunk, there are windows that slide up and down. And I walk up to my truck and the one window slid up just a little bit. And, well, nobody got in my truck. So 2 weeks ago, my breaker bar got stolen. I was running a roll-off at the time, so that really sucked. But he's a good boy. I got him a bone, one of those big ones that are packed with bacon and cheese. I got him a new bed. Got all kinds of ear scratching, rump scratching, belly scratching, and a few new tennis balls, which that's his favorite thing in the world, is a tennis ball. There we go. I need more room. How hot is that thing? I need more everything. So how do I want to do this? I got a fork here. Some of these vegetables over here while I'm making a mess. Today we use mozzarella or a little of the pepper jack. Well, Monterey Jack. So about right here. But my hands are slick and I can't open it. But put a little of this in there. Cat, you're gonna have to find another place. And I'm going to keep loading it up. I might have to do this a time or two to get the actual look of the dish correct. I might even need to stick it in the oven to melt the cheese. I don't know yet. But we are about to find out. And I will see if the cheese melts. Sorry about the scraping. And if you wonder why my dog's bowl is by the stove, This is why. He's a good boy. And you can have that too. I'll clean this out better when I get through. Where are my tortillas? G23, how are you doing? That is how I'm doing. I am trying to figure out how to present this on a plate. I'm still thinking a hibachi would be awesome for doing this. And I can make tortillas, I just don't. I live in Texas, they're everywhere. It's kind of like, there's this lady, her name's Christina, with a K, and she has the Czech cookbook. And she was talking about having to learn how to make Czech dumplings, because in Eastern Europe, you just go to the store and buy them, and it's boiled bread. And you know, some people will make it, some people won't. You know, but most people just go to the store and buy it like we buy a loaf of bread. So she had to learn how to make them. And she came up with a really, really good recipe. That's actually the one that I use, and she is much better at it than I am. But I did not grow up in the Czech Republic, so. More food for the dog. Krabby Turtle, awesome. How are you doing? Yeah. No, my dog's bowl is like usually let me see if I can fix my camera. Hopefully not making you dizzy. There we go. It keeps turning. I've got it rigged up there to hold where it is. But my dog's food bowl stays between like the fridge and the stove. And then when I'm cooking, I take stuff off the stove, whether it's scraps or scrapings or whatever, and I put it in his bowl. And he's very, very happy with that arrangement. Of course, he's a dog, so he's happy with any arrangement that gives him food. And yes, I turned my heat back down. Oh, I've got a lot of allergies. At this point, it's something to live with. My leg is finally closed up. It's been closed up for a couple weeks. And my shoulder's getting there. There's probably some rotator cuff damage in it, though. But it's a whole lot better than it was. And I should have been riding my bike this weekend, but Harley didn't have it ready. They got it back together, and then somehow or another they discovered the swing arm was bent. So they've got to order a swing arm. Maybe one more. I would have been riding my bike this weekend if it wasn't for that. We're also looking into, there's a training class for the track that my son is interested in, and he may be doing that. But he's got to get full leathers to do it. You start off novice, and there's different levels. Our bikes are made for different tracks. Like mine would be good for a drag strip, something really fast in a straight line. His would be better, for going through twisties and leaning right and left. My bike does not like to lean. I've got a 2022 Fat Bob. Leaning is not what it wants to do. And there's actually a guy on YouTube, if you look up either Harley Gaps Everyone or Fat Bob Gaps Everyone. He's at a drag strip and he's running, I think, like 11s and 10s. And a Harley would usually run, like, most would probably be 14, 15. What some that have been turned up would probably be doing like 13s, somewhere around there. So if you're doing 11s and 10s on a Harley, I think there was a Sportster S there that my son has a Sportster S. This is annoying. And I think it was running 10s. And that's the motor I think you can do a whole lot more with. I mean, I've got the big V-twin, their new V-twin, the Milwaukee 8, and I can put a stage 4 on it and all kinds of stuff, put a turbo. If you put a stage 4 and a turbo on it, it'll be putting out 180 pounds of torque. And I don't know if I need that. But his motor's so quick. It's the same motor. It's a Revolution Max that is on the Pan American. And on the Pan American, it has 150 pounds of torque. But you get it's in a different place in the band, how they set that equation up. You get a lot more of the torque on the Sportster S. Oh, I love Sportsters, but this isn't a normal Sportster. It's their new one, if you've seen the Sportster S. Well, they've had it out for, I think, like 3 years. And that thing is faster than any Harley should ever be. Like, seriously. It is way faster than any Harley should ever be. If you have a chance to test ride one, test ride it, but put it in rain mode, because all the safety features are on. Sport mode is frightening. So how does that look? I'm going to have to do some cleaning so I can take some pictures. Wipe a few things down, all that sort of stuff. I'm constantly wiping everything down, especially when I'm doing a video for later. And it sucks because you think you've wiped everything down, and because cooking is messy, things pop, things do all sorts of things. And then you take a picture and you see like this little piece of something that you missed. And it's like, no, I can't believe I missed that. And it's too late to change it at that point. The, what do you call it? Joys of filming. See if I can get a good picture of this. Might help to turn the flash off. Coolness. So that is done. I'm going to put a little bit cheese in here. And I'm about to make one. And don't worry, I have another steak. Totally making you hungry. Awesome. Colorblind. That runs in my family. Most important is how it tastes. Yes, but taste doesn't get clicks. I'm going to have to let that cool off for a second. I'll take it right out of the skillet. So, I think my pan's seasoned again. I'm going to have to boil this thing out and wipe it down and put it up and hide it so no one does that again. And it tastes pretty good. Wait till they make Taste TV. Smell-o-vision. Smell-o-vision would be awesome. So, I don't know, smell-o-vision might not be awesome. If they do that, they would have to do something kind of almost pheromonal or what have you, and that's going to be different for each person. You know, kind of like some people think that cilantro tastes like soap and some people don't. So I can imagine like whatever chemical they use would probably work on like 99% of the people, but that one person might get a different response. And that would suck for that person. And that is pretty good. I think maybe a larger pineapple, if possible, would work good. And if you can possibly do it on a grill, like a hibachi grill kind of thing, or a big griddle, that would work out for the best. What I think they already have is the technology like they had on the Jetsons, where Mr. Spacey would reach to the phone and choke George, but they're holding it back from us for safety. Because there are a lot of people that I would love to reach to the phone and choke. That would be one way to end telemarketers and bill collectors. I'm still paying off the well, there's the hospital ride, there's the anesthesiologist, there's the surgeon, everything has a deductible. And it's like, it's insane. And hold on one second. I hear you. You don't have a choice when they pick you up out of a median and you got a tourniquet on your leg as far as where they take you. They're going to take you wherever the hell they're going to take you. And you're not in a position to argue either. I think at a certain point, from what I remember, because there's a lot I don't remember. Like, I don't remember going into the median, but I kind of remember it's like I was trying to avoid trees. And I remember the one that I hit. And I want to say that I was on the brakes hard and the ass end was coming around to the left. And I should have went to the right of the tree. But I didn't. I hit the tree face first, took the visor and everything off my helmet, and you've got like 700 pounds of bite going around the other way. The handlebars caught my legs and threw me out through the median like a rag doll. And I don't remember that part. I can remember the thwack when my helmet hit the tree. I can remember that sound. And then I remember being in so much pain. I thought both of my femurs, I thought both of them were broken because the handlebars hit my femurs. I had the bruise on the inside of my thighs from the tank. And of course, the right peg ripped my leg open. And the handlebars where they caught the top of my legs, just deep bruises, like if you've ever been hit with a golf ball with the rings around it, but it was long, and that was on the top of my thighs. I did not know the bottom of my leg, anything was wrong with it. I couldn't even feel that. It wasn't even a concern until someone um, basically saw that I needed a tourniquet. And it just, the top of my legs hurt too bad at that point. And I remember being loaded into the ambulance and, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that muted. Um, anyways, to get back where I was, there was a certain point, I guess it's like acceptance of what's going on. And there's nothing you can do. I couldn't get up. I tried getting up. I could like halfway sit up, and that was about the best I could do. And there's just nothing you can do. And they load you up, they take you away, and you're just like, okay, this is really happening. And my camera keeps falling. But anyways, you're like, this is really happening. There's nothing I can do about it. And you just kind of accept what's going on. And that's all you can do. And I am eating, so see, I'm still eating. She had to come in here and get a drink. It would help if the kitchen was bigger. Or if I were smaller, that would probably help too. Do I ride with a medical kit? I have a first aid kit in every vehicle I have. And I have tourniquets. Problem with that. I'm in the median and my bike's in oncoming traffic. I had no way to get to it. I couldn't get up, I couldn't move. So one of the things that I'm changing is I may not be the tourniquets with a stick might actually be more dangerous to have on you. But they have the rubber tourniquets, the quick ones. And hold on. What the hell did she stir up? Okay. Anyways, they have the like big rubber band kind of tourniquets, and I've got those in the pocket of my coat now. Because you know what happens if I slide off the road and nobody knows I'm off the road and I'm impaled or something, which that wouldn't be a first time, and I need to put a tourniquet on myself. I need something there to do that with. And the first aid kits and all that sort of thing, med kits, are really for someone else at that point. It's, you know, you see someone in an accident or someone gets hurt and you get your med kit out and you help them. The problem with the bike is oftentimes you're alone. And how do you get to your med kit if you're not on your bike? You know, if you've ever slidden down the road on a bike, there's a certain point where you and your bike do not move at the same speed. I had that happen in, what was it, 94 or 95? I was on a gravel road. And I was fortunate enough to be able to kick it away from me. But at a certain point, I was stopping, and it's almost like the bike picked up speed. And the whole thing of there are those who have laid it down and those who will. That is a fact. It's not necessarily high speed or low siding it, or God forbid high siding it, or someone hitting you. It could be you didn't notice a hole and you put your foot in it, and now your bike's going over. You know, there's a lot of people, especially new riders, that do that. Yeah, there's an insert on the back for, it's a big hard plate. But if it's on my back, how am I going to get to it? If I can't really get up, if I can't get my coat off. I was wondering, like say, kind of like tactical pants, you know, with the side pockets, something like that might work. It's just, my dog's sniffing everything. He's like, there is steak, I can smell it. He just ate some out of his bowl. But the problem comes when you're the one who's hurt, and you're the one who's hurt bad. And you don't have the range of motion. You can't get enough off of your back to get your coat off to get to it. You can't get your hand back there. I wouldn't have been able, if it was strapped to my back, I don't think I would have been able to get to it, because I wouldn't have been able to get the coat off to get to it. Now, in the pockets or something up towards the front, maybe then. But I also had another thought, because I had another bruise from something else. and that one was at about 330, and that was a 329 PD. And I was wondering what that would look like after sliding down asphalt or concrete. And I can tell you from experience that you land on whatever you're carrying, that hurts. Although I can give Lobo holsters a very good compliment, I guess, because it never came out of the holster. So if you wonder if they have good retention, yes, they do. I'm still going to do a motorcycle chat when I get my bike back. And that's one of the things I do want to bring up is medical gear to bring with you. You know, not only carry options on a motorcycle, but medical gear that you would take with you. And how are you going to access it if you need it? It's like I said, you could be off in the woods. You know, you could low side it going around a curve, and it just kind of drops off down an embankment or something like that. And you're down there by yourself. And at that point, you're going to have to do it yourself, you know? And that's another reason I don't use like the quad locks and stuff like that. Is I have a, you know, that kind of vest pocket thing, and that's where my phone stays if I'm on a bike or something, is if I need to call 911 or something like that. And my bike's 200 feet over there and I can't crawl to it. And, you know, it's, the phone's still in the OtterBox or what have you. Hopefully it's able of making a phone call, but I should be able to get to the phone to make a phone call. That's pretty cool. Are motorcycle jacket airbags worth it yet? Yes. The main ones they have, there's two different versions, and it's like a vest that you wear. One of them has a leash that attaches to the bike. And when that leash is pulled, the airbag, boom, it goes out. That one's easier to fill up, and you can get more uses out of it. The other one uses like canisters to fill it up, and that one is like a proximity thing. And I have like two problems with that. Number one, it's more expensive. It's more expensive to fill it up after it's inflated. And then my dumb ass would somehow figure out a way to set it off, like get off the bike, and I'd be scared I'd take 2 or 3 steps away and all of a sudden, boom, you know? But I would probably do that with a leash too. I'd leave the leash hooked up and get like 2 steps away and go poof. And hopefully someone would have that on video, because I'm sure that would go viral. Shoulder and waist tabs that pull. Diagram pack comes off. Well, that's good. It's just, I spent most of my life in places where I had to take care of myself if something happened. And, or there was very limited people, there was limited help. if you're going to get anywhere for medical care quickly, um, you're flying, you're not riding, you know, and you're just out in the middle of nowhere. So you carry everything that you need to survive. And I usually got everything with me for, I can start a fire, I can do first aid, I've got water with me, I've got a way to filter water, I've got a good knife. I've usually got a Leatherman on me at all times. There's so many uses you can get out of that. I've been stranded in some weird places, and you do not want to be without water. In the truck, I always have water. Whether I have a dog with me or not, I've got a few gallons of water. And that could be for anything. It doesn't matter if it's 20 below or if it's 120. You break down, you want water. That's the main thing you want. But then again, it can be like you have a radiator leak and you patch it or you do what you can to fix it. And you may not have enough antifreeze or something with you. And hey, you got water to add to it. You can fix that later. Oh, yeah. And everybody talks. People don't pass you without talking on the CB. It's like, hey, how's it look behind you? Looks pretty good. How about up behind you? And if somebody doesn't check in, people get worried. I've been places where you didn't get out of your truck when you get to your receiver. And they just pull you into a building and they close it. And then they do everything after that. It's just too damn cold. And if you break down, you don't want to be out. When it's that cold, you do not want to be outside of your truck working on it. I got frostbite in both of my hands because the road was closed behind me. And it was, I want to say negative 37, but it wasn't. I think it was negative 27. 90-mile-an-hour wind gust. And my air governor froze up on me. The reason my air governor froze up on me was my compressor had a leak. And it was getting oil into the lines, and my air governor was on the compressor, not on the air dryer. And, well, I had no air pressure, and I had to fix that. And there's some things you just can't do with gloves on. And I got it fixed. I didn't have enough fuel. It's one of those hard lessons learned that they wanted me to get there and I could fuel up when I got to the truck stop. They'd have the advance to me by the time I got there. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get there, I'm going to fuel, and I'm going to park. Well, I broke down en route. So fuel up before you leave. Have the money, fuel up. It's, like I said, a hard lesson learned at the time that happened. And I would have froze to death on the side of the road if I didn't get the truck moving. And that, I ended up with a nurse putting my hands in ice water. My hands looked like something you took out of the deep freeze. And the warmest thing that I could tolerate was ice water. Anything warmer than ice water felt like a literal blowtorch on my hands. And luckily I kept my hands, my fingers, but there's still a little bit of nerve damage in there for the tactile feeling. Little tiny nuts and bolts and screws I have problems with. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced that. Ghost Shadow would probably kind of know what I'm talking about because I know he's been in that kind of cold before. It's one thing to drive when it's hot. It's one thing to drive in the summertime, tractor trailers. The winter will make or break you, especially if you're someplace where it gets actual winter weather and it stays that way. That was good. Um, oh, I had gloves. I have everything. I have a sleeping bag I take with me. I have I have all of that stuff, but there's just some things you can't do with the gloves on, like those two little air lines on the top of the air governor that have the 90-degree angles on them. Trying to get those back on, and I just could not do it with gloves. And at a certain point, with that kind of wind and it's that cold, and you're standing out in it, you're gonna freeze to death anyways. So I did what I had to do, and I'm alive. Oh yeah, things freeze. I got a funny story about that from when I was pulling a reefer, and I know you're not supposed to have flip flops on, but I can't remember why I had them on. Because I have boots and all that stuff obviously with me, and I had to do something real quick in the trailer. I just said the hell with it, and I went and I opened the door and I hopped back there, and I think it was set at like 20 below and continuous, something like that. And it was a little wet outside, so there's moisture on the bottom of those flip flops. They weren't like flip flops. They were like the Skechers things that wrap around your foot and all that. Or was it flip flops? It might have actually been shoes, like tennis shoes. It's been a long time. Actually, I think that was like tennis shoes. It was like Skechers tennis shoes that I had on. But anyways, regardless, they stuck to the floor, and I came out of them, and now I'm barefoot on the floor in the trailer, and I'm trying to keep my feet moving so they don't stick to the floor of the trailer. That was interesting. You left skin on metal. I believe you. The cold is just a completely different animal. And we can describe it all day, but some of it is just something that you have to experience to understand it. You know, people are like, well, just put another coat on and what have you. And it's not exactly that simple. And most of the time, you know, I'm layered. You know, where I've got a shirt, and then I've got a long sleeve shirt, and then I've got a coat, and the coat goes on over my Carhartts. So I got my big insulated Carhartts, and then I have the coat that goes on top of that, because you know, you go from outside to inside, and now the heater's on, and you're coming out of that coat quickly. Oh. Or crawling up under a trailer trying to unstick your brakes, especially on a trailer somebody had dropped. I mean, there's always the new drivers that don't know that you don't set hot brakes. And but it happens to everyone. You know, you go pick up a drop trailer and they're just like frozen to the drums, and you're crawling under there and you're trying to beat them loose. And you got a torch trying to thaw out airlines. And the ones that really suck is like when you come from the south and then you go north, because you pick up so much moisture in the south, Gulf Coast, and that moisture gets in your tanks, your air tanks. And a lot of people never bleed their air tanks. So then when you get up there, you have all that moisture in the system. And if you just got an air dryer, that's a lot of fun. I kind of prefer an alcohol evaporator over an air dryer. especially because they don't have threads in them anymore. There's a time that if your air dryer stuck on you, you could put a little piece of pipe, and everybody had that pipe, and you'd thread that up through there, and that would work. But you can't do that anymore. You can take the hoses off, though, and tie the hoses together to bypass it. I have done that a few times. The Mid-Atlantic, yeah. They get a lot of heavy, wet snow over there. But then they also put that brine down, and my God, that's slicker than the ice. Like I was going down into New York City, and I was coming out of Connecticut, that little short interstate dropping down. And they had so much of that brine on there. I thought I was going to wreck the truck. It was just way too slick. I've seen people wreck. I've seen cars wreck because they put so much de-icer on the exit ramp that they just lost control. And it wasn't even icy yet. They're just getting ready for the storm, and they're putting everything down. Sheepskin, yes, that would be awesome. I've got all kinds of stories. I've been driving for 25 years. And it's like there's all this kind of, I don't like switching trucks out. I don't have my own truck anymore. And I don't like having to switch to someone else's truck because there's so much stuff that I carry in my truck because I need it. And there's the things that you keep within arm's reach because you're always grabbing for it. Then there's, a couple of tools that you keep by the door that you can get out and deal with stuff real quick. Like you got your screwdrivers, you got your 2 big crescent wrenches, and, maybe a set of vice grips, and you can do something real quick with it. And, I got my clothes, I got my fridge, I got the water, I've got all the stuff that I need. And you hop in another truck and it doesn't have anything, and you don't have all your stuff in it, and inevitably something happens. Like seriously, inevitably something happens. So, but anyways, we've been going for 2 hours and 32 minutes. And I am going to have to go to bed. And I'm going to have to put all this food up, and I'm going to have to clean my mess up. So, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you could leave a like on there, like, share, all that good stuff. I think everyone on here is subscribed. It helps me out. And I'm going to have to get off of here. I'm going to have to walk my dog. He's looking at me. I think he either wants steak or he wants me to walk him, one or the other. Probably both. And anyways, thank you so much. And I will have to get off of here. So I will catch y'all later. And I'm going to go ahead and push that red button because I really don't have a good segue yet. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.